Hello and welcome back to Heroes of Might and Magic 3 for another part of the Great Wasteland map playthrough. We actually have a very specific plan for today, which involves Pyre. See, if we check Pyre, we can check her artifacts and see that she has the Vial of Lifeblood and the Ring of Life. I think she's had them both since the previous part, if I recall correctly. And that's actually quite interesting because those, along with the Ring of Vitality, which we have on Jabarkas, form the elixir of life, I think it's called, which enables us to regenerate our health with any of our units at the end of every round, which is extremely powerful for something like the ancient behemoths. But it gets better than that. It's even more powerful if we can use it with a Faerie dragon. Faerie dragons have 500 HP, so the elixir of life will increase that HP to I think 625 or just above that. And at the end of every round, if we can pull that off, our Faerie dragons will regenerate all of that HP, which means that our opponents will be forced to do over 625 damage to that one stack per round in order to have any chance whatsoever of killing it off, which I think they're going to massively struggle with. So we're going to try and pull that off as a strategy, and Jabarkas is going to be pretty much unstoppable, and he will be even more unstoppable if we give him extra defense in this scenario, so we're going to go for another +2 on our defense. We're going to rush over to the Trailblazer. Now this is going to be a little bit long-winded. It's going to potentially keep red in the game for a little while longer, but I think it's still worth doing. So we're going to go this way, as that doesn't reveal anything too exciting, which I'm not massively surprised by. We're going to try and travel over to the rally flag. We're going to take on the Ifrit. Maybe I could take on the Cyclops stockpile while we're there. I'm not sure. I'm not too bothered about that. I think we're doing completely fine for resources. And then we're going to take on the Haspids, which are the level 7 upgraded creature of the newly added Cove Town. It's not really newly added anymore, but it's added in by the one of the Abyss mod. And then we're going to attempt to chain the two artifacts we are passing over from Tyrexor to our main, Jabarkas, and that strategy will be put into effect. And while we're here, let's also take a few of these extra things that we don't really need on Pyre. Actually, we can take that. Perhaps we should play it safe by taking the goblins as well. On the other hand, that does leave our Stronghold town less defended. I think I'm going to risk it. As in, I'm going to risk not giving it to Tyrexor. I'm not going to risk leaving Pyre defenseless to try and defend Tormina from the hero who lurks just to the underground to the east, Moandor, who has a fairly small army, but not an army that we should attempt to take on without some kind of defense. Can we visit this? No, we can't. Okay, so let's just rush off. Not too sure what I'm going to do with Dessa now, but we'll try and keep him alive. He's a pretty good hero. Tyrexor, I believe we just did it. Yep, so we got what we need on Tyrexor. We're going to send him to the south, and we're going to swap everything with Yogg, which I didn't actually realise he was here, to be honest, but that works. And Yogg actually has very few movement points, so that doesn't really make any difference. Perhaps Tyrexor, they all look so similar. No, Tyrexor can't actually benefit from the rally flag either, so we're just going to skip that entirely and make a move towards Zubin, who has our extra creatures. He's already moved this turn. I think he perhaps should also go in the same direction. Don't think he can take on the Haspids himself. Certainly not if there are 4 of them. No point taking those losses. And Jabarkas, while we're here, I think we should take on the War Unicorns and maybe visit the Shrine of Magic Mystery. I'm not sure if I care that much about doing that, because the whole issue here is that once we've taken out the Haspids, it makes perfect sense to go to the south to take on a pack of green dragons, take the Titan's Gladius, which is a very powerful artifact, much better than the Black Shard, the Dead Knight? It's the Dead Knight, not the Dread Knight. We'll take that. That'll, I think, actually did look this up before I started recording. It will increase our attack by +12 and decrease our defense by 3, which is maybe not the best thing on earth if we are going to be trying to have this ridiculously bulky Faerie dragon who cannot die, but still worth doing just because it is so much extra attack. They're going to try and run away. We're going to take them on. I'm not expected to take any losses, so we'll accept that. And and we will attempt to move towards the rally flag. We should have a good amount of movement over this particular type of terrain now that we've visited the Trailblazer. And in fact, it's just right there. I think we should visit it just in case it gives us something very powerful. Over here in our Rampart town, we're going to leave a few of these units behind, and I don't really think we want to slow Gunnison down, so perhaps won't take the Dendroid soldiers, although it's not the strongest force, so I think we do need a little bit of extra bulk to keep him going, because he's going to go underground and he's going to attempt to take control of the Dragon Cliffs. Also, we do have the Tan hero to worry about, or the Green hero in fact. He could come back through, so you just need to be a little bit careful of that. Oh, hang on. A pack of Haspids. That's stronger than I thought. And remember. So we can't do that. We're not strong enough for that at all. Okay, and we can't go here either. That requires us to reach level 12. We're not level 12. We're not going to be level 12 anytime soon. I think we're like level... well, we're actually level 2, so way off. This was maybe a mistake. Is there anything else we can do down here? I don't think so. No point taking on a crypt. I could just go all the way to the east and attempt to take green on directly with Gunnison, but I would much prefer to do that with a slightly stronger army than this. I can go to the Dendroid archers. Is that actually worth the effort? Is there anything else this hero could do? Don't really want to take on the Faerie dragons using him. I think we'll just go for it, because he's not really got much else to be doing, and we'll end the turn. So, red is back on the move. That's not what I wanted to see. 2 heroes on the move. I'm not sure where exactly they're going, as Tan appears to be going to the south before anything else, which is fine, and probably a good thing. Green has probably just spotted me and immediately frozen in fear. I would like to take him out, but that is a little bit of a detour. Probably still worth doing though, because it is always nice to clean out the opponent's heroes, and this guy could cause some kind of problem later on down the line. We get the Water Walk spell, which is not... actually, it could help us, although we don't have water magic, so I imagine it's not too useful. Okay, looks like it still works fine without water magic, so might actually be able to make that work. We could actually jump across here, although it does appear to be pretty heavily blocked off on the edges, so it might not actually be possible to jump across the water there. Anyway, let's go ahead and visit the rally flag. I'm not sure what this guy is guarding. Quite strong. Presumably something better than just a treasure chest and some gold. Still, we'll go to the rally flag. That gives us a lot of things that are going to help, and could actually loop to the southwest first, just so we can deal with Malcolm. Honestly though, I think it's faster just to go this way and let Malcolm be. These might get a kill on us. Yeah, they do, so we're gonna have to take them on manually. That's fine. Hopefully the behemoths are tanky enough to actually take this on. This is gonna take a while. There we go. I should have actually moved them after, or before the Thunderbirds. No, after the Thunderbirds. We're going to put the orcs up in the top, where they're going to be relatively safe. Are the wolves safe? Looks like they are, that's perfect. And these are, I think, slightly slower, unfortunately, than the Ifrit Sultans. So... let's just do this for now. Start combat. They're going to go forward, they're going to attack these. We should be able to take the hit, which we do, although the fire shield does a huge amount of damage, so we're going to want to weaken these as soon as we can. I could haste, I hope I don't need to. Expected to kill 5. They don't have the fire shield. I think we should go for it, as we get luck, so that's perfect. Do a lot of damage to them, and they've not been able to do too much back. I'm going to send these forward as bait. They won't get killed, as they do go for the behemoths anyway, but it's all fine, they do almost no damage, so able to take them out without losses, that's good. And we can now move straight on do the Haspids. Got there a little bit sooner than expected. Only the 2 turns. Can't visit the rally flag, unfortunately. It's the other side we have to be on. Already visited the corpse. Don't have to fight the war unicorns, which is good. I don't think we need the pennant on second sight, nor do we need the skeleton transformer. So perhaps I should have actually swapped these around. Okay, so Zubin can actually drop off the units. And do we want to swap any of these artifacts? I don't think we do. So what should Zubin do now? I think we will send him probably still in the same direction, although actually I think he's actually able to go slightly further than Yogg, so whatever, I can't be bothered to redo that chain. Yeah, he can go further, doesn't really matter. I'm going to actually keep him just around in the area to help pick things up once Jabarkas breaks through. Definitely want to go this way. I can't remember exactly how strong these things are, but they are slightly slower than Ifrit, I'm pretty sure. They're going to try and run away. I think it's still worth taking the fight for some XP, and once again, I think that is just a case of the auto-resolve just throwing the Wolf Raiders away, throwing them forward before they're ready. They're 12 speed, so same speed as our Angels. We should be okay, I think. The problem with these is they have their revenge skill, which means if you can't kill them off, they get to do extra bonus damage towards you, which is going to be a problem. I might just haste. I'm not sure if I actually want to involve the Angels at all. Try this. We're going to use haste. We're going to wait. These are guaranteed to kill, and these will also be guaranteed to kill. So it used up a bit of spell points, but it's fine. Probably worth it for the 1200 XP. And I'm not going to go out of my way to pick the things up. Although a pack of green dragons is not an easy fight, so this is maybe a little bit unfortunate. Perhaps we could take out the Chaos Hydras just to open this up. I think it's leading to something. It's a bit of an interesting setup. If you look at the map as a whole, I think the storyline behind this map is that some kind of Warlock's experiment went wrong, creating the Wasteland, and this looks like it could be the actual location of the initial blast. If you have a look, you can see that the Chaos Hydras can be taken out, then you have to go all the way around, take out the War Unicorns. Then you come to the south, and you end up taking on some Archdevils, so I'm not sure if that leads to something interesting, but I'm probably not going to go out of my way while we still have so many opponents left to kill. It's Yogg who has the actual units we need. Okay, so I think we will go and just take on the Green Dragons. Is there a faster way to get there? I don't think there is. They're going to try and run away, we're going to try and take them on, because I think it's going to be worth it, as they do have some gold dragons. That's going to complicate things somewhat, but hopefully using tactics we can minimize the losses. I believe the Ancient Behemoths should be capable of taking a hit. And we're just going to try and box in all of the various non-sturdy units. There's not much in it between the Ogre Magi and the Thunderbirds, but the Thunderbirds are slightly bulkier. If we were to haste, we could perhaps take out the Green Dragons. I wouldn't be too upset if the Angels died. Obviously, this is a bit of a mistake because they can attack over multiple hexes, which means I could take a nasty hit here. I'm sure there's some way of doing this. Does this work? No, because if I do it like that, they can attack the Ancient Behemoths go straight through them and hit the Thunderbirds. If I tried it with a 1 hex stack, I think it still wouldn't work. I'm sure there's some way of doing this, but it just doesn't quite occur to me at the moment. I think this actually protects the Wolf Raiders. It's going to be harder to protect the Cyclopes. We do this. Doesn't work. I guess it doesn't matter too much, but so if we do this, then we might lose a Thunderbird, but the retaliation on the Ancient Behemoths will kill off the Gold Dragons. They won't be able to multi-attack the Wolf Raiders. Ogre Magi should be safe too. They could get attacked on their own, but that's fine. It's just a slight risk of the Thunderbirds. If we allow them to attack the Thunderbirds directly, that at least protects our Ancient Behemoths, which might be slightly better. As that does actually create a space for them to attack the Cyclopes. I think that works. We're going to take a nasty hit, but screw it. So wow, they actually go for the cannon. They have not been able to kill it, but they have done some pretty hefty damage to it, which is not great. But we can now use haste, and we can not quite kill these. The behemoths can. So these are 10 speed, which is slower than literally everything we have, apart from maybe the Ogre Magi. See, they can get across the field. So although I am tempted to focus down, actually, we don't have a range penalty because we have the golden bow. I just remembered that, so that's perfect. We can just go forward. Actually, no, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We can get the 4 kills with these, and then we can kill these. And everyone else can shoot across the field, although actually the Wolf Raiders are strong enough to do it on their own. So perfect, no need to take any losses. Just a few spell points. Advanced Pathfinding. It's kind of unfortunate that we got stuck with that skill, because although it is useful on the Wasteland terrain, we do of course have pretty easy access to Trailblazers both there and there, which are both seen right after you actually enter the Great Wasteland. So it's not actually as useful as it looks, but still fairly handy just to avoid having to go out of our way. We're going to pick up some XP, pick up the Gladius next turn. Is Zubin potentially vulnerable to Malcolm? I think he's fine. And York should be fine either way, so that's good. Pyre I think is good just to go back to the town. I still think we could get attacked up here. Definitely no room for complacency. We're going to pick up some orcs. And with Dessa, we're going to get both the Wolf Riders and the Goblins. And while we're here, I think we might as well go ahead and visit the Warehouse of Wood. Tyrexor is kind of in no man's land. Does he have any useful artifacts left on him? No, he doesn't. We already sorted that out. So we'll just send him in this direction too, to help explore. Gurnison was going to go for the Dendroid Archers. But when did we visit that with Gurnison? Unless it counts all rally flags as being the same. I'm not really sure. So let's go for this. Pick on the Dendroid Guards, no need to take any losses. Gives us logistics too, which is nice if we start using this hero very seriously, and we can recruit 6 extra Dendroids, which are pretty good units apart from their extremely slow speed. Still worth having overall. We can recruit Corsairs from the refugee camp, don't think we care to. Let's start heading back. And I probably should have actually picked them up just because we have so many spare resources that it's just a bit of extra bulk for our scouting heroes, but that's fine. It's in the turn, see what happens. I didn't actually get a good look at these two, but it doesn't look like they're coming to attack me just yet. And I can turn back if they do decide to do so, as yeah, it looks like they actually are coming to attack us now, so you have to be a little bit cautious. But we are on our way back, so should be able to fend them off, as he's coming towards us, but once again seems to change his mind. As I think for now our starting town is pretty safe. And we're just going to send Pyre all the way back to defend. Over here we're going to send Yog through, but first... I was pretty tempted to explore all this, but there's no way we're going to end up sending Jabarkas all the way around to take on the Archdevils. It's not worth it. Malcolm's kind of annoying. What spells do we have? We do have Lightning Bolt, and he does just have the 1 stack, and I think we're faster. In fact, I'm sure we are. So if I were to send Zubin down to here, then we take Yog, and we're going to pass over all of the units. Zubin also has a spellbook and also has Lightning Bolt, and probably has higher spell power. Let's check. He's only got 12 spell points, but there should be enough. Same spell power, but that's fine. Should be able to do this fine. Yeah. Doesn't look like he got a chance to flee either, so that's good. We get to steal a couple of artifacts from him. Orb of the Firmament, forgot what that does. 50% extra damage on our air spells, which is definitely worth hanging on to. Yog, we're going to give back the units to. And we're going to pass over the Orb of the Firmament as well. Does he have enough movement points to get all the way to Jabarkas? Not quite, so I think with Jabarkas we will turn back. Just to get it over with. Several Phoenixes is going to be a bit of an annoying fight. They will run away though. Okay, we're going to take the Titan's Gladius and we are going to put it on. Plus 12 attack, minus 3 defense. It's a worthwhile trade-off for sure. Plus we have to also take into account the loss of 3 attacks, so really it's more like plus 9 attack for plus or minus 3 defense, I think. Might be working that out wrong, but fine, whatever. Let's go to the south and let's take these on. I don't think we need our backup immediately, although would be helpful just so we can have that extra 25% health on all our units. We don't actually have to take this fight, of course. We can just turn them away. Don't think it matters that much if we do. Yeah, let's just scare them off. Don't actually want to fight them. And we are just going to move in this direction. While I'm here, I might actually pay a visit to the Warlock's lab. And let's shift some of this sulfur and turn it into crystal. Like so. And we now have a really good amount of every resource. We can also visit the corpse. Let's do it. Don't find anything on there. And we can visit the ancient behemoths, or take them on I should say. Now will we be lucky, and will they join us in the same way that Grand Elves kept joining us at the start of the game? Let's see. Oh my god. What's going on? Well, I'm not going to say no, but 17 ancient behemoths. I don't see how this can go wrong now. I'm actually tempted to take on the War Unicorns. Okay, so these can come and attack us. Kaya and Zilar. I kind of said that as a joke. I'm surprised that worked. That's awesome, but yeah, we should definitely look towards actually winning the game now. As fun as it is to explore, we definitely have enough to take this all the way. I'm still going to go for the Faerie Dragons though, because I just think the combination of Elixir of Life and Faerie Dragons is too good to turn down. Gunnison is now able to visit the rally flag, pick up air magic, and we will be on our way back to the town to potentially defend it, just in case. Steiger might actually risk, although she's not quite strong enough. Break through there. I wonder if we were to pick up the refugees, are we now strong enough? Probably not, to be honest. but I might still do it anyway. Do we have a spell book? Yes we do. We've got a fairly decent array of spells, but pretty low stats. Yeah, I don't really think this army is strong enough to take on 5 to 9 Dendroids. We can blind them, we can slow them, and they are extremely slow when slowed. Pretty much the slowest creatures in the game. In fact, I think they are the slowest creatures in the game. Tyrexor is going to just start picking a few things up. Can visit the Den of Thieves if we want to. I don't think we do. It would probably be better just to go ahead and do a little bit of exploring to the east. And we will end the turn. See if red comes for an attack. I think we're ready for him. I'm not too worried. But we do need to take us down. Definitely before the end of the week, which we will. He's not going to be able to take on the Faerie Dragon, so it looks like he's going to treat that as a dead end. Tan is through the teleporter and then stops. Don't know if he's run out of movement points or if he's just unsure where to go. But that's all good because that does mostly waste his time, which is the main thing we want. We can now take Lost Hold, which is pretty weakly defended. I think I should just take out the War Unicorns while I'm here so someone can pick up all that stuff. And what is going on? Unfortunately, 11 War Unicorns is... I mean, it's kind of better than the Wolf Raiders. But Wolf Raiders are, of course, part of our native army. And I don't really want to throw them away. And I would say they're probably not better than 4 Angels, so... I don't know if I'm missing something here. I'm surprised this many units are trying to join up with us. As I should probably stop actually so that York can actually reach us this time. Which you might not be able to. I think something I haven't really taken into account is that we do have some limitations we're facing with the rough terrain. Of course, Jabarkas can just move across it completely freely, but the rest of these units are being slowed down. Tyrexor, I think, hasn't moved, so we can just chain everything over to him. And we will be able to finally get that elixir of life. Just swap everything around. And let's go ahead and meet Jabarkas. And we are just going to give him everything we can. Although, he is the Wolf Rider specialist, and we do have quite a few Wolf Raiders that we don't really need. The thing is, if we do this, let's just take it for ourselves. If we do this, and we move a few other things around as well. So we're going to have to put these on. It's kind of unfortunate because the Equestrian's gloves are really nice to have. If I were really hardcore, I would end every turn by re-equipping the Equestrian's gloves, but I don't like to play like that. I find that a little bit boring. We'll take the Vial of Lifeblood, and then in our own bag we should have the Ring of Vitality, which again requires us to make a sacrifice of some movement points. I think it's worth it though, for the Elixir of Life. We are now extremely difficult to kill. Do I really want to... I'll take them. I'll keep them just in case, because we do have 2 pairs of them, which makes it slightly more worthwhile than I would usually think. I do like to have some kind of positive morale and some kind of positive luck, but I think the Orb of the Firmament is significantly better. The Shaman's Puppet is too good to turn down. Golden Bow, of course, we need to keep. It's too good, again. So yeah, I think that's the best way of doing things. Let's go ahead and take some of these artifacts that we don't really need. Some of them will be parts of combination artifacts worth bearing in mind. So we should maybe hang on to a few things. This is pretty crap all around. Yeah. Eagle Eye. They still haven't fixed Eagle Eye in Horn of the Abyss. I'm sure they will one day, but they've not yet been able to do it. Demon's Horseshoe, let's go ahead and take that. I'm sure that's not part of any combination artifact. This is superior to the Skull Helmet, and Torso of Legion, I didn't realise we were carrying that. Let's go ahead and take it. I know that the Crown of the Supreme Magi is part of some kind of combination artifact, can't remember which, but we're going to hang on to it. And now, I am going to go ahead and take some of the flimsier units. I'm going to hang on to the orcs because we are the orc specialist, even though they don't have much HP. They do still have 29 HP each. You can see that the ancient behemoths are up to 379 HP. All of that is going to come back at the end of every turn. Thunderbird's also very bulky, Ogre Magi likewise, but I might actually take the Ogre Magi back now. They are pretty slow, although they're only slightly slower than the Orc Chieftains. There's not much in it. Still, I think that's fine. Cyclops Kings are up to 91 HP each. We're pretty much just insanely difficult to kill. Unfortunately, if we do go into the fight against the town with our Orc Chieftains, we are going to take a few shots, so let's actually wait before we do that. And we are just going to send Jabarkas take this town from the red player. Shouldn't take any losses, which we don't. And we have now taken this town. Can upgrade the Dragon Cave once we get another level of the Mage's Guild, which we will. And that gives us anti-magic. I think we already had that. And nothing else in the town is that exciting to me. We could go for the Mana Vortex for a bit of extra spell points, but I think it's too late to really benefit from that now. Angel Feather Arrows is good for the Bow of the Sharpshooter, which is what I got mistaken about in the previous part. I thought that the Golden Bow was the Bow of the Sharpshooter. They have very similar effects, but the Golden Bow is different. Kind of does the same thing, but not a combination artifact, which is why we're able to equip it immediately. Several Green Dragons is a very easy fight, and we shouldn't take any losses. Okay, they do have some Gold Dragons with them, which is the reason that didn't go quite as well as I'd hoped. Unfortunately, they can just cross the entire map. I don't think we can really protect ourselves. So I think this should bait them into attacking the cannon. No, they don't. Okay, so we have to lose the Cyclops. That's kind of annoying. But fine. So the Gold Dragons did 112 damage. These guys are going to do 40 to 50 each, so they're going to do about the same amount of damage. They've got lower attack, but they're still going to hit pretty hard on the Ancient Behemoth. Still, I think we should survive it. And they can't reach anyone else. Let's let it happen. As the Shaman's Puppet kicks in and enables the Ancient Behemoths to survive that very handily. We are going to go for these because they're stronger, and we're going to shoot this. Okay. Unfortunate loss, but it's fine. Let's visit this, see what it reveals, as it reveals a university. Doesn't actually reveal an opposing town, which is something I was hoping for. Hermit's Shack, I don't think I've seen that before. I imagine that's newly added. I think the Highland terrain is added by Horn of the Abyss as well. I'm not actually sure about that one, but I think it is. There's an obelisk there that we can potentially visit. I think we want to go to the stables. We do want to take on the Faerie Dragon, so we definitely want to go in that direction, but do we want to leave some of these units behind? So I forgot Tyrexos actually still carrying a couple of Ancient Behemoths there as well. I think we're just going to move on. Down to 99 spell points, but I don't think it matters too much. I really want to get those Faerie Dragons. Also a Shield of the Damned. Can't remember what that does, but it's I think it's pretty good. It looks good. Kinda looks like the shield equivalent of the Sword of Hellfire, which is not as worthwhile to go for, but still. So is Zubin capable of landing on the grave? Yes, he is. So let's go for that. Did I remember to actually visit the Library of Enlightenment? Yes, I did. Good. Okay. That's part of why we're so ridiculously strong at this point. I would like to visit the Den of Thieves, just to affirm that. Yeah, we're way ahead at this point. Tan is pretty strong, but green is, I think, falling quite far behind. we can definitely push this. So let's go ahead and park ourselves here, and Tyraxor we're going to send down to interact with Jabarkas. We are going to take the ancient behemoths. We're going to take the orcs because screw it with the orc specialist, I think we kind of have to. It would feel wrong not to, and I'm tempted to leave the Thunderbirds behind. But no, they're a bit of a doom stack as well. So I think we will hang on to them for the rest of the turn, and it would be a massive effort to re-equip the Equestrian's gloves every turn. We'd have to disassemble the elixir of life. Not really feeling that, so I think we're just going to give Tyraxor the Equestrian's gloves instead. And we're just going to move on, visit the stable, which will at least somewhat make up for our lack of movement points for the next 2 days. And we'll attempt to chase down Jeremy, who is the cannon specialist, but I imagine has fairly low stats because we've not heard of him until now. Steig was going to potentially take on the garrison. I still don't think that's a good idea, but never underestimate the slow spell, it's extremely good. Okay, disguise might keep us alive. Don't really understand how the AI actually interacts with that, but we do have it at least. And Dessa is going to go ahead and pass over the rescued units. And I think we're just going to send him back into the Great Wasteland because it does appear to be pretty empty at the moment, and we can actually explore a little bit further than what we managed before. I think it's possible to just get all the way through here. Perhaps not. I think we would have to fight the Wyvern Monarchs. But this is not really doing anything else, so I think it's worth a go. Gunnison is going to go back into here, and because there is no sign of any red heroes coming to attack us yet, I think we can actually afford to go to the east. Or can just visit the Star Axis instead. Pick up the gold mine and just kind of consolidate the land that we do have. I should perhaps consider getting a bit of a dungeon hero as well. I think maybe Zubin would work for that. We'll see. I think I will go for this, because I would like to at least stick to this area until the start of next week, so we can pick up a few extra gold dragons. And then Pyre, I think, is good just to camp. And that is pretty much it for this turn, so let's see what Red does. Appears to be moving into Green's lands. They will have to fight each other, they're not allies. As he is going to the south, turns back at the garrison. Here comes a Tan hero. They appear to be all over the map. I think that was a Tan hero. No, it was a green hero, and then that was a Tan hero. No, that was a Tan hero. So Tan is here as well. Tan is all over the map. Okay, interesting. I'm not going to let it put me off. I am going to go for my Faerie Dragon. I really want that Faerie Dragon. Let's get those 627 or whatever it is HP Faerie Dragons regenerating all their HP every turn. It's just too good to turn down. And there's all kinds of other stuff here. 3 level 4 spells if we can be bothered to sacrifice the movement points. This is risky because Jeremy is right there. Kaya's pretty weak, so not too worried about him. Could be a woman. Should know that by now. I don't though. Sandro is... oh, he's pretty tough actually. He's got anything up to 19 Wyverns. Don't know if we can actually hold that off. We've got to hang on for another 2 or 3 days. Then we could lose Lost Hold. Tyraxor has a bit. Not much. Can't recruit anything new in Lost Hold. If I were to go for the Portal of Summoning, it would probably just end up giving us a bunch of goblins or something, so not really worth it. Castle could help us hang on, but I don't think it's going to be quite enough. Oh, he's got the 43 Ogre Magi, which I think should actually swing things in our favour. So I think actually we will be okay. Bit of a threat to Yogg, but yeah, I think this will actually be pretty safe. Let's just park ourselves in here, and let's go ahead and build the castle. Let's do that for now. Jabarkas is going to go for this fight. I've only actually fought Faerie dragons once before in the whole of my time playing Heroes 3. In some ways I'm actually not that experienced with this game, but I actually remember it being very nasty. I don't know if they're able to cast spells that ignore your defense skill, but they can be tough to fight against. I think they're faster than angels as well. Only one way to find out, so let's go ahead and take them on as well. There are 4 of them, which is not what we wanted to see. They do attack the ogre, not the ogres, the orcs. And if they go first, which they will, I don't think there's anything we can do to protect them. So that kind of sucks. I just didn't feel right about leaving them behind, but obviously they benefit less from the regeneration than the rest of our units would. We definitely want to have these somewhere they can take on the strongest stack. I should have actually split these, but the golden bow should mean we'll be fine either way. If we were to do this, that might bait them into attacking the behemoths instead. I doubt it, but they do have some spread damage spells. Let's see what they do. Okay, they get morale from the strongest stack, and they are just gonna beat the crap out of our orcs with so much morale, and we've just lost so many. And that's obviously what happened to the auto-resolve as well, but that still really sucks. We kept morale, but it's too late to do anything with it. We can't resurrect anyone. Yeah, it's too late to actually do anything about that. We've just got to take the losses. It's going to be worth it. It is day 5, so we could actually leave someone around here till next week. At least send someone in this direction. So who could we do that with? Zubin's gonna dig. Okay, not too special actually. I seem to remember the grave. I thought it was a bit better than it actually is. It's not bad obviously, but I haven't actually had any really strong artifacts coming out of there, and neither have we had much gold really in the grand scheme of things. Thessa is just gonna, like we said, go into the wastelands once again, do some exploring, and Steiger's definitely going to end up dying if we do this. If not by the dendroids, then by what's on the other side. But let's go for it. We're expected to win. I think with the help of the slow spell we should be able to make that happen for sure. We can cast it 3 times as well, so should be completely safe. Oh, they're still slightly faster than I thought, so they still got 3 speed. Because they are Dendroid soldiers, not Dendroid guards, they do have that extra 1 speed. We can still hit and run, if we need to. Okay, so they get the kill on that. I think perhaps I should have baited them with the serpent flies before now. Spell's worn off as well. Okay. Not really playing this quite right, but I think we can make it work. We do this. And we wait. Shoot with these again. These guys should now be able to get away, but unfortunately I think they will get chased down. Yes, they will. I think we can make this work. Let's try this. Oh crap. We ran out of ammo, so these things do not have much ammo at all. They've actually run out, and I clicked the button before I saw that we were going to go in for melee. That's pretty bad. There's still 6 of them left. We've got 8 spell points. We can't lightning bolt, but we can magic arrow, or we can slow instead. We do have the ability to shoot them with the lizard men. Not sure about that one though. Don't have disrupting ray. We've got precision, maybe should have used that. I'm not sure. Shield could help something. So these guys don't have to worry about retaliation, that's why we didn't get too badly screwed by that. But these guys will. They're 5 speed, these guys are 4 speed. I think we should actually shield these. Although it only reduces damage by 15%, which is barely worth it. It's probably worth instead going for magic arrow, just to do an extra 31 points of damage. Might get the kill, now that we go for this. Do get the kill, but they do quite a lot of damage back, and I don't see how this is going to work, to be honest. Not sure what exactly happened with the auto-resolve that enabled them to win. So they will chase us down next turn, but I think it's worth it just to get that little bit of extra damage done. We've still got 8 shots left, which is not going to do too much. Actually, if we go for this, then that will at least stop them from reaching our lizard men. No spell points left. Can absorb the retaliation with these. On the other hand, the gnolls. The gnolls are going to be slower, so can't do anything with them. Still got to wait though, because if they retaliate and kill our serpent flies, that's going to stop us from being able to protect the lizard men. I'm just going to wait. Attack with these. I think we still have to wait. Okay, they actually kill them. Okay, this has not gone well. I'm sure there was some way to do this, but whatever. Okay, they're pretty weakened. Can they reach us? They can reach us. Don't think we can stop them either. Just do some damage. So with 4 speed, I think they'll go before us. If they're going to reach us either way, then we should just get the absorption of the retaliation out of the way, which involves losing these, or they do actually survive, which I'm surprised by. Can't get the kill with these, but we do weaken them a little bit more. These should get 1 kill, and then these should weaken them again. Bit of morale, that's going to help a lot. So we will win the fight, I think. Round 8 begins. Still got 5 shots left. So I think even if we had managed to kite them, we would have ended up running out of shots, but obviously a few unnecessary losses here, but that's fine. I think we just defend. We go for the gnolls. We get a kill when we do this, and then we take a shot back, but now they are very weakened indeed. These guys are down to 4 HP, so let's just defend again. They're gonna hit the gnolls, and then the gnolls can kill them. Okay, so we do manage to win the fight, take a few losses, doesn't really matter too much. Let's leave 1 gnoll behind, so that we know if they come back through. And let's explore what's on this side. Dangur, get out of here. What does that mean? Not really sure. Orb of Vulnerability can be good in certain circumstances, but obviously no way we're going to break through a pack of Huspids. I'm not sure what this leads to. I thought this would just lead to Tan's base, but feels a little bit different from the rest of the map so far. Yogg is at risk from Sandro if we send him to the east. He doesn't have anything valuable on him. Could use him to distract Sandro, but he's not going to do a great job of that. Plus, I don't think we need to. I think we can handle the Wyverns using our castle. So let's just play it safe for now. Let's go to the west, and let's pick up some of this stuff. Pire's fine in the town, and Gurnison needs to be around at the start of next week. Although, he is strong enough to take on the red player as well. Still, I think it's for the best that we just prepare to potentially take on the tan player when he shows up. So I'm just going to wait here till next week. And we'll end the turn. We've got obscene amounts of money now, as is this guy coming to attack us? What? Not sure what's going on there. Doesn't go for the attack, but parks himself right next to us. I'm hoping he'll go to the north, but I kind of doubt it, as I think he just town portal to do that. So he is definitely getting stronger. In fact, able to clear out those dragons. Can he clear out the red dragons too? Yes, he can. Okay, so this guy is a big deal. Doesn't go for the rust dragons, so obviously got some kind of weakness. He's not completely broken, but he's scary. Green comes to attack us. Oh yeah, it was green who came through in the first place. Ryland attacks us. Let's see what Ryland has. 1 green dragon, 4 wyverns. Can we do anything? We can't. We've only got 3 spell points, so just gotta surrender, I think. Might as well hang on to those few creatures we still have. The gnolls get killed, or the 1 gnoll. Okay, so let's see what's going on with this guy. He's pretty scary. He's got it's Septiena, so it's Tan's strongest hero. We can't hold her off if she comes to attack Tormna. This could be bad. We start off with loads of movement points here. Not sure why. Boots of speed. But I'm not really sure why that's happened. Oh, it's the stables. Still got the stable bonus, which helps us. This guy shouldn't be attacking us. I don't know why he came over here. That was really strange. Okay, so we got to fight even more fairy dragons, which is going to be really bad news for our orcs, but screw it. 3 fairy dragons for 14 orcs. I don't imagine there's anything we can do to prevent that, so let's just accept, as they cost a lot, but it's worth having. And I'm going to go for the Shield of the Damned to see what it does. I'm pretty sure it's very good. +6 defense. Okay, it's only a very mild improvement. I probably should just head back out to potentially deal with the impending crisis that is Septiena's arrival. Hopefully she'll go to the east and take the tower town. That would be fine, but at some point she's going to come towards us, and I don't really think we can hold her off. Jabarkas can easily beat her, but no one else can, so it's a case of stopping her from sweeping the map while he's busy picking up spells he doesn't really need. Yeah, I think we should be a little bit more sensible here. Let's just leave the area. In this town I am going to build the Portal of Summoning, just in case. There's a very, very, very slim chance it will enable us to recruit an extra fairy dragon, which it doesn't. As expected, it does give us just the goblins. That's not really too helpful at all. I'm not worried about Sandro. I am really worried about Septiena. So let's see how that plays out. Gurnison is going to stay here till next week, I think. Still pretty committed to doing that, but we can go and visit the Centaur stables. And I think we should just about be able to make it back before the start of next week. Dessa could be a distraction, but not a very good one. If we were to send him down to here, is that going to actually help us? Or is that just going to lure her in? I'm not really sure. I think I'm going to try and run away instead. Pretty intimidated by that. I think even Gurnison would lose, even at the start of next week. Zubin we're going to send down towards the fairy dragons. Pick another one up. And Yog going to pick up the Ogre's Club of Havoc, some more gold. And let's see what happens. So red doesn't move, that's fine, easy prey for next turn. He's starting to move towards us as well, but he's not actually going for Lost Hold. Is he seriously going to go for the Dragon Utopia? I doubt it. Although this hero just might. Let's see what happens. So just cleaning out the map for now. Not coming to attack us just yet. This guy's not a real big threat. We can completely deal with him with Gurnison. But yeah, let's take out Kaya. No losses expected. That's the end of red. Okay. I thought he might have another hero somewhere, but that is one player gone. We can reach Sandro in 2 turns, and then maybe we can reach Septiena in 3 turns. It's going to be tight. Don't think there's any better way of doing it than just going straight to the north. I could potentially try and take the Dragon Utopia before Sandro gets there as well. That would be nice. Visiting the Fountain of Youth gives us that little bit of extra movement. I'm pretty tempted to go to the Hermit Shack as well, but I think it's time to really stop thinking about upgrading Jabarkas, who is easily good enough. Let's go to the Fountain of Youth. Zubin is going to go towards the Fairy Dragons to pick one of those up. Man's going to come home. Dessa doesn't really have too much to be doing. He's kind of boxed in at the moment. There are just too many extremely dangerous heroes lurking around. But we'll go into the Great Wastes. And we will bide our time. Okay. I think we're going to go for this. We're going to try and put out this fire before it becomes a crisis. She's not terrifying. I think she's going to, like everyone would, have a real hard time taking out 629 HP on this Fairy Dragon. We've only got 16 defense, but it should still be enough, I think. Especially if we box these in the corner. Another thing worth bearing in mind is we do have the Tactics skill, which means we can limit their exposure to opponents' attacks. So even if she tried to gang up on it with all her stacks at once, she might only actually be able to attack it with 2 or 3 at a time. Alright, let's make a move. Can't go this way because of the flowers, which really look like you should just be able to go straight over them, but you can't. So visiting this actually doesn't look like it's actually saved us any time at all. And I wonder if I should have left Zubin on the stables in hindsight. Still, we've done a big loop in this part, but we're significantly better for having done it. It's going to be very difficult for these guys to kill now. We do just have 2 of them left to deal with. Let's end the turn one more time, as they are starting to encroach and attack us from all directions. Tan player, definitely scarier than the green player from what I've seen. Jumps straight across, takes the tower town. Better that than takes our original town, but pretty effortlessly clearing out the map right now. And we'll probably just get stronger and stronger. Green hero is going to be a bit of an irritant, but I'm not too worried about them. Jabarkas can't quite make it there yet. Let's check this. Yes, we actually can recruit an extra Fairy Dragon, so that's crazy. So we're going to have 3 Fairy Dragons. How soon can we make this work? I think we can make it work very soon. So is it faster for Zubin to go back to the stables? I kind of doubt it. We're going to take our time to bring this Fairy Dragon all the way to Jabarkas. And in Lost Hold, let's send Gurnison out. We're going to give the Fairy Dragon to Yogg. Can we definitely pull this off? How close can we get? Close enough, I think. This is going to be a big fight. Possibly the toughest fight of the game. If we can get there, which I think we can. I think we're going to have to just really go out of our way to chase her down. It's going to be worth doing. Can you reach? Yes you can, that's perfect. Let's take the Fairy Dragon. We've got 2 of those now. Both going to be very hard to kill. and the ancient behemoths likewise. They actually got slightly less defense, so fairy dragons definitely going to be very difficult for them to break through. I would definitely like to keep improving my defense if I can, just to make it that little bit harder. And I would like to take on the Dragon Utopia, but we should probably go for Sandro first. Let's check the taverns. Just pretty basic heroes there, so nothing too exciting. We'll come back to that later. Okay, so Jabarkas has to make a choice. Is he going to go to the east, or is he going to go straight to the north? I think obviously he should go to the east, so we'll head in this direction. While we're here, we might as well take on the Dragon Utopia. I think the orcs have served their purpose. They had a couple of really good fights earlier against the bone dragons, so I don't think there's any real need to lose a load of them. Let's just leave them behind with Yogg. And Jabarkas is going to go over here to take on Sandro, but first, let's see if we can reach this turn. Not quite this turn, but we can get it next turn, and Sandro probably won't quite be able to run away from us. If Septiana wants to actually come towards us and fight us, that'd be great, but it's definitely about to kick off with the town player. We can hopefully take the tower town and start to close in on them, as I'm not too worried about the green player. I think we'll be fine with them, but it should be interesting. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the part, and I will see you next time.